they send them to conferences, national conferences, to the tune of $2,500 a piece, but no misuse of funds there. So anyway, that's what I meant about never getting into politics. That's why I said it really is a shame what happens, but people are people, you know. Okay, thank you. And anyway, Collie was the one who went to bat for me and also found information on the person who was spreading that she actually, and he, the other guy, had all kinds of skeletons in their closet. And he found that information, dug deep enough to find it. But you see, it's the court of public opinion that hurts so bad. So anyway, our charter, I'm not going to go into that. You all can read about it. A city code contains the laws that come down, and we are a Dillon state. Anybody know what that means? I know you do. Okay. In other words, we can't do anything. Simplified, we can't do anything unless the state approves it. It has to fit within the code. If we wanted to change the charter, if we wanted to change the code, we have to go to Richmond to do it. And what I want to do is to go to Richmond and do that with the school board. Because, the teachers beat us up. They don't go to the school board, which is the only body that can give them a raise. And yet they will come and beat up on city council that you're not giving us enough money and we're not getting raises. Not true, not true. But if we had the ability to allocate funds for specific reasons, we could say, this money that we're giving to you, to the school board, has to be used for salaries and benefits. Categorical funding, and that's what I'd like, but we have to go to the state to do it. And I think that would make all the difference, because what happens in the budget, and I have it printed out, they have $4 million surplus in their budget as of the end of March. $4 million. And they take from the salaries and benefits and move it over to other areas and spend it. So, this way they would not be able to do that. I'm saying, to me, you deal from strength. We wouldn't have to use it, but if we had the power to use it, I think attitudes would change. Okay. All right. This is technology, so this is how you all can access all the information. The Municode is our connecting with you and the citizens for you to get online and be able to find out anything you wanted to. But it's simpler to just call me up, and if I have the answer, you don't have to get it. Okay. Our regular city council meetings are second and fourth Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock. The meetings are recorded and they are played again, so you can call or you can check when they're on if you miss one. And they're open to the public. When I first got on school board, we gave 5 minutes to everybody, and then they changed it, and I opposed that. I mean, I don't think anybody can really express everything they want to express in 3 minutes. It's just not, and certainly to drive 40 miles to speak 3 minutes, it's ridiculous. So I have worked on that, but as well as working on getting council meetings moved to other places in the city so that we are more accessible for people to speak. Of course, I shouldn't say this, but it is true. When I said that, well, that way more people could come and speak, and the mayor said, I don't want more people to come and speak. And unfortunately, it's true. But I think it's important, and I think that people ought to have access to their governing body anytime they want. Okay. Agendas are, by the way, the agenda, they give a agenda is online, so you can review it if there's something you want to speak about. We have a work session in the afternoon where we go over things that are controversial and come to some decisions or some consensus sometimes. And then we have a meeting that night. I really think that our work sessions should be filmed as well, because that's really the meat of what we do, and then that's where things happen. As Vince can tell you, it's really where the decisions are made, and then we go to council. Although some of them have changed depending on speakers and depending on things that are presented at council. I've seen that happen too. Our special meetings, we sometimes have them, but most of them are closed to the public, or they're, considered, we discuss things that are in the code that we can't discuss in open session due to privacy or a number of other things. So budget meetings, we do 2, one up north and one in downtown in council. And I hope, but my feeling is a lot of times people just give up. They say they're not listening. And I understand that feeling, and sometimes they're not. But I want you to know, each one of you, that it's important to me that you speak up, either in person or at a meeting, and tell me what you think. And again, I gave you your handout so you can read this at your leisure, because I want to get to a few questions that I know some of you have. Go ahead. The operating budget for 2019 over 882 million. The capital improvement is a separate budget. That's all, things like buildings and roads and, what our plans are, for the park, for instance, that would come in the capital plan. So that's a separate budget, and that is 101 million this year. So total 900 and almost $1 billion is our budget for the city. It's a lot of money, folks. And it comes from taxes, properties, businesses, fees for water. I know they go up every year. That's the way my husband is always said, "What is the matter with you? Why can't you get this water bill down?" It's not just my decision, dear. And I'm going to let you read these facts because they're fun facts to know about, but you really, $313 million to run the 43 schools in the city. The city pays $2 million in school bus. Again, if we were, people don't understand, we were court approved for busing. We were not court ordered. And like Norfolk and all the surrounding districts that were court approved, we came up with a plan and the court approved it. There were 5 criteria that you had to meet in order to lift that. We have met them all, but the school board won't go forward with having that lifted. But Norfolk has, I think Suffolk has, many of the jurisdictions around Virginia Beach, all of them have gotten rid of that. But for some reason, and part of it has to do with our geography, our 26-mile long city. But it really is a terrible waste. I don't know about your neighborhood, but my neighborhood is very integrated right now. And I don't think we have the problems that we had. It was a useful tool at the time, but it has, to me, outlived its usefulness. When I think it was Riverside, I had a friend who had a child there, and the whole school from downtown was bused, and that was the other inequity of it. They were bused up here, but nobody was bused, well, my son was bused downtown 1 year, 2 years. But, it just, when you look at children and you think that 45 minutes to an hour in the morning going to school, where they act out on the bus, by the time they get there, they're tired. They leave and they're an hour on the bus going back, and they get in trouble. Those, if we had neighborhood schools and they were tutored, we paid tutors to help people, help children achieve, it would be such a better use of our time and money. It's my son. I'm not on the school board. Go ahead. Anymore. And that's how you can get involved and stay informed. Go ahead, I'm just going to wrap this up. And that's your city, and take it home and look at it and get involved. Now, questions?